Trapped by the Narcissist. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. You will be well versed in the necessity of the pursuit of the prime aims by the narcissist. This is something that the vast majority of narcissists, being unaware narcissists, seeks subconsciously. There are lots of different ways that the narcissism drives the narcissist to secure those prime aims. Prime aims is the destination. There's lots of roads, avenues, thoroughfares, freeways, motorways, highways, whatever you'd like to describe them as, which takes the narcissist to that destination. One methodology is trapping the victim, be they intimate partner primary source, non-intimate secondary source, a friend, a family member, a colleague, or an affair partner as an intimate partner secondary source. I've explained previously how the narcissist uses the arena of a motor vehicle to trap that victim and how that plays out. Well, here I'm going to provide you another example of how somebody's trapped by the narcissist in a different crucible of control. The kitchen is a battleground. Though its gleaming surfaces and neatly arranged spice jars betray no hint of the war that's about to unfold. The air hums with a quiet tension, the kind that precedes a storm. The wife, Laura, stands at the counter. Her hands are trembling slightly as she slices carrots for a meal that she hopes that she will placate her husband, Edward. He looms nearby, his presence a shadow that stretches long and dark across the tiled floor. This is their home, their shared space, but in actual fact, it is his domain. And Laura knows this. Laura is a kind soul, an individual who likes to soothe, to mend, to love. Her responses provide fuel for Edward, the narcissist, and he drinks deeply of her kindness, of her patience, of her endless capacity to forgive. But as a narcissist, he is never sated. Laura senses his approach before she actually hears it. She has that ability where she detects that subtle shift in the air, the way the light seems to dim as he draws near. Her shoulders tense. Her knife hesitates mid-slice. She doesn't turn to face him, not yet, but she feels the weight of his gaze, a predator sizing up its prey. Edward moves with a deliberation, his steps measured, his presence subconsciously designed to unsettle. He doesn't touch her, not yet, but he positions himself just behind her, just close enough that she can feel the heat from his body, the unspoken threat of proximity. "Laura," he says, his voice calm, "we need to talk." Laura has heard this phrase many times. It causes her heart to lurch, but she keeps her eyes on the carrots, the blade moving mechanically. She knows what this tone means. She's heard it before in countless variations, soft and insidious one moment, sharp and accusing the next. She nods, a small, placating gesture, hoping to diffuse what she senses of coming. "Of course, Edward," she says, her voice conciliatory. "What's the matter?" He doesn't answer immediately, the narcissist utilizing silence to unsettle her. Instead, he steps closer, his body angling to block her path to the open kitchen. She is in the corner now, where the counter meets the wall, a dead end she hadn't realized that she was backing into. He doesn't touch her, but his presence is a wall, a force that presses her into the corner without even laying a finger on her skin. She's trapped, not by chains, or by locks, or by walls, but by the sheer weight of his intent. This is part of the mastery of the narcissist, the ability to control without necessarily being reduced to violence, a dominance through suggestion. "You've been distant," he says, his voice low, almost mournful. Naturally, there is no sadness in his eyes. They remain cold, scanning her face for the flicker of guilt that he expects to see. Distant, secretive. I've noticed, Laura. I've always noticed, he adds. Her breath catches a small sound that betrays her. She sets the knife down, her hands seeking the edge of the counter for support. I haven't been distant, she says, her voice trembling with the effort to remain calm. I've been here, with you, every day. Oh, but you haven't, he counters, taking a step forward, his body a mere inch from hers. He leans forward, his hands resting lightly on the counter on either side of her, caging her in without touching her. The corner of the kitchen now becomes her prison, and he is the warden. You think I don't see it? The way you look at your phone, the way you smile when you think I'm not watching. Who is it, Laura? Who are you smiling for? Her heart pounds, a frantic rhythm against her ribs. She feels the walls closing in, not the physical ones, but the ones that he builds with his words, his accusations, his unrelenting scrutiny. There's no one, she says. It's just you, Edward. It's always been you. He smiles. It is not a smile of warmth or reassurance. It is the smile of a hunter who has cornered his quarry, who knows the game is his to win. Liar, he says softly, as if he's caressing the word. You've been unfaithful, haven't you? I can smell it on you, Laura. The guilt, the deceit. Her eyes widen, a flicker of panic crossing her face. She shakes her head, her hair falling across her cheek as she tries to shrink back, but there is nowhere to go. The counter presses against her spine, the wall at her side, and Edward's body before her, a barrier she cannot cross. I haven't, she insists. I swear, Edward, I haven't done anything. He tilts his head, studying her as if she were a specimen under a microscope. And why do you look so guilty? Why do your eyes dart away when I ask you? Why do you tremble like a thief caught in the act? Laura wants to scream. She wants to push him away, to flee this suffocating corner. But despite this, there is an instinct to try to make peace, to soothe, to placate. She reaches for his arm, a tentative touch, hoping to ground him, to pull him back from this spiral of accusations. Edward, please, she says, her voice thick with unshed tears. I love you. I'd never betray you. His eyes narrow, and for a moment she thinks she sees a flicker of satisfaction, a spark of triumph. He thrives on this. Her desperation, her need to reassure him, her willingness to pour her heart out to quell his suspicions. But he doesn't relent. He leans closer, his breath warm against her cheek. You were out late last week. You said you were at a book club, but I called Sarah. Laura. She said you left early. Where did you go? Who were you with? He accuses. Her mind races, scrambling to recall the evening in question. She had left the book club early, yes, but only to run errands, to pick up groceries, to do the mundane task that keeps their life together. She opened her mouth to explain, but he cuts her off, his words sharp and precise. Don't lie to me, he says, his voice rising now, a controlled crescendo that fills the small space between them. I know you were with someone. I know you've been sneaking around, laughing at me behind my back. Do you think I'm a fool, Laura? You don't think I see what you're doing? She shakes her head. The tears now spill. Her hands grip the counter as if it's the only thing keeping her upright. I wasn't, she says, her voice raw with emotion. I swear, Edward, I was just at the store. I can show you the receipts. Receipts, he scoffs, his laugh cold and cutting. You think a piece of paper proves your loyalty? You think I'm that easily deceived? His body is a wall of accusation, his presence suffocating. She's trapped, both physically and emotionally. Laura is drowning. She is overwhelmed by the onslaught, by the weight of his suspicion, by the need to make him believe her, the need for him to understand the truth. She wants him to be fixed, to fix this situation, to make him see that she loves him, that she's devoted. But every time she speaks, her words are twisted. Every gesture is interpreted by the narcissist as evidence of her guilt. Edward, she says, her voice barely audible now. I love you. I would never hurt you. Please believe me. He pauses, his eyes searching hers, and for a moment she thinks he might relent, might step back, might let her breathe. But then he smiles, again that cold, predatory smile. You're good, Laura, he says, his voice dripping with mock admiration. So good at playing the innocent that I see through you. I always have. He steps back slightly, just enough to give her a sliver of space, but not enough to let her escape. The corner remains her prison. The body, the bars. He continues his diatribe, recounting imagined slights, conjuring scenarios of infidelity that exist only in his mind. He speaks of late-night texts she never sent, of meetings she never attended, of glances that she never gave. Each accusation is a stone thrown at her heart. She feels herself crumbling, her resolve eroding under the weight of his words. Yet, even as she crumbles, she clings to the belief that she can reach him, that her love can pierce this armour. This is both the strength and her weakness. The empath's eternal curse, to love even when it hurts, to give even when it depletes her. She tries to speak to counter his accusations, but her words are feeble against his relentless assault. He is the one that is in control. For Edward, this is not about truth, nor infidelity or betrayal. It is about control. Her tears, her trembling, her desperate pleas are the fuel that sustains him, the lifeblood of his existence as a narcissist. He does not need to raise a hand to hurt her. His words, his presence, his ability to trap her in this corner provide him with the control and the fuel that he subconsciously seeks. He feeds on her emotional turmoil, on the way she shrinks under his gaze, on the way that she backs away until she can no longer retreat from him. He gorges on the way that she tries so hard to please him. The minutes feel like an eternity for Laura, the kitchen a crucible where Laura is forged and broken in equal measure. Her heart is raw, but still she stands. Still she tries to reach him. I love you, she says again. Please, stop this. Let's go and sit down. Let us just talk. He looks at her, his eyes cold and unyielding. And then he steps back. His body no longer a barrier, and Laura feels that sense of relief. But it is short-lived. We're not done, he says, his voice calm, almost casual. I'll be watching, Laura. Always watching. He turns, and sated with fuel, and in control, he now leaves, leaving Laura in the corner, her body trembling, her heart heavy with the weight of his accusations. She slides to the floor, her back against the counter, her tears falling silently. But there comes no compassion from Edward. The kitchen is quiet now, but the echoes of his words linger, a reminder of the control that he holds over her.